Hi, gorgeous. Welcome to the Women Leadership Series, Amplify Her. As I told you yesterday, I have an amazing guest for today. She's really an expert in terms of energy and is an incredible human being. And I'm so excited basically to speaking with her. Welcome, Julie.
Hi, Gail. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me today. I'm so glad to be here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. We didn't catch up for a while. I thought it would be such a great opportunity because you are a Cirque expert. You are a vegan consultant. You're really someone incredible and talented in terms of organizing events, of looking after your diet. You're a vegan. And I know your energy is wildly infectious. Myself, I have a lot of energy, but I know when I met someone, I mean, really, this kind
of... We were a match. We were an energetic match, right, Gail? Oh my gosh, so fun. It's true.
So that's why I'm really happy that you're here with us, because I believe for women leaders out there with so many ambitions we have, our energy is key. I like to challenge the status quo. And so I would like to know, what is your story to make energy your expertise as an event professional?
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Gail. And yes, I am so passionate about sharing the story because I think stories are what create the connection from knowing to understanding. I think that because we can find relatability in each other's stories. So fast, if you just take it back maybe 12 years ago, I was a really busy event professional. Very busy still to this day, of course. But back in the day, I really struggled with any sort of semblance of balance or what have you. I would take myself right up to the line and then something would happen. I'd get super sick. I'd catch something, whatever. And this was a pattern that had gone on for years and years and years. And so when I was 29 years old, we had a beautiful circus production. It was absolutely gorgeous. We had 20 performers on this one big show site. It was this gorgeous fundraising event, actually, what we were doing. We had aerialists, we had acrobats, we had singers, we had dancers. I mean, it was spectacular. And we had 4 costume changes. Like, imagine that huge group of people, 4 costume changes. And that event was, when I say it was exhausting, it was like, I've never felt a level of exhaustion like with any other function ever. And I'm an event professional, right? Like, I'm a show business person. I know how to do it. It's like, Gail, it's like when you're in your wheelhouse, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And so happily going along in my wheelhouse, whatever, prepping all the things, doing all the things. But probably the day before that event, there was no sleep. Like, it was a weird load-in schedule, whatever. There was no self-care leading up to the event. And then at the event, high stress, high expectation, like wanting to make sure everything, as always, when you're dealing with circus and an event site, and maybe an event site that's not actually meant for events. Like, this was actually was a dealership of all the things. It was a car dealership that was retrofitted for a special event. So that creates all kinds of issues. But I mean, whatever, we had circumnavigated the gong show before we got there. We set everything up, etc. But on the show site, there were challenges. And the stress level that I was literally in that fight or flight state. And I don't know if anybody else on here listening can relate to that, where you're just like, you're constantly like, like you're constantly in that state, right? Like you're running from a tiger kind of thing. Anyways, I think that night I got home, like after the event, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I proceeded after that to have a horrendous medical episode that ended up in me in an ambulance and in the emergency room. And after you're laying there going, sorry, how did I get here? Right? Like, I'm 29. What is even happening? And you're looking around that and hearing the beeps and being like half conscious, half not conscious. All of these, it was so scary. Like, it was like this real, I was like, am I alive? Am I dead? What's happening? You know what I mean? Like, it was, anyways. And when I got out of the hospital, I just thought to myself, I cannot do it like this anymore. I can't bring myself to the brink of death for my profession. It's not reasonable. I don't know, Gail, have you ever felt like that, where you're just like, I pushed this thing too far?
Yes, it's just like you reach your point and you say enough is enough. I can no longer do it like that. No, not immediately. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And you're just like, I'm done. And it was so interesting because not done with my profession. I love the profession. I love being an entrepreneur. I love the circus business. I still do it to this day. It's phenomenal. But what I was done with was treating myself like a bag of garbage leading up to, during, and after an event. That would not be my standard anymore. And so I don't know if anybody else has had an inflection point where they're like, that will be all. It's done. Line in the sand. I think my line in the sand was that ambulance ride. And serendipitously, I received a message like literally a few days after this huge medical episode had happened. I get a message from somebody who had said, "Hey, Jules, have you ever heard of this company? I just started this health and wellness business. I think you'd be great at it." I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about, but yeah, let's talk. When I'm better, let's have a conversation. Anyway, have a conversation. And I just thought, my gosh, if I can be around people who care about their health and wellness, I can consume products that actually are good for me, not going to harm me in any way and actually help me. And I can help other people do the same. Yeah, let's do this thing. Like, let's do this. And so my energy changed forever because I got a clue about what balance looked like in my life. And for me, that was really getting around folks who cared about that wellness component as much as I needed to care about it. And it changed my life. So I'm so grateful to be able to help people not only have beautiful events, but like, why does the event profession have to be unhealthy? Like,
Yeah, of course.
Can't we be healthy event professionals? Like what, and so that's where it all started. And here we are today.
Oh, wow. So it's quite interesting because, yeah, you reach your limits, until basically you stop yourself and you say, can no longer go like this. I have to do something about it. And it's quite interesting because so many women, they reach this climax, when really you can see what's going on and you say, no, I have to do something about it. And it's like, it's like you gave a kind of nudge to the universe saying, I'm ready for something different. I want to do it now. And you got this call from this friend talking to you about this company. And when you think about it, this company is the ultimate trifecta of what you needed. I mean, wellness, helping people, and really bringing a kind of new lifestyle in your business, in your life that you really resonate with.
Yes, I love that, Gail, because we love what we do as very passionate people. We can't help but love what we do, right? But why can't we be very mindful of our inner well-being when it comes to what's going on, that like all along the way? Why are we last? And actually what I learned was when I put myself last, I'm actually being selfish, because that means like if I get sick and I'm in the hospital for a week or 2 weeks or something happens, that's actually like now everybody has to around me make up for all the stuff that I can't do anymore because, and so for me, it's actually the self-care is the ultimate unselfish act, which I think people get it backwards. I think we think sometimes that because we're taking care of ourselves, because we're looking after our energy, because we're doing the things that we need to do to recharge, refuel, take a minute, whatever, prep, we're like, it's like this, I don't know why or how this became upon us, but it's almost like this veil of shame where it's like you feel bad for some reason that you're looking after you. And I want to change that paradigm. Like, let's stop with that. It's actually the opposite. It's the best thing that you can do for everybody around you is if you look after you.
Yes. I think it's a question of old paradigm that so many of us, we have been conditioned into it. And we put people needs first and ours last. And I think with the new paradigm, with really this kind of, development in wellness and well-being and mental health as well. A lot of many women realize that going to burnout, going to extreme exhaustion is not the solution. Self is a question. It's like you self-sacrifice yourself.
Yes, the martyrdom. Exactly. It's like we don't need to be martyrs. It's fine. People, our friends and family actually want us to be well. They are rooting for our success. They care that if we live for, 10, 20, 30 years longer, right? They actually want that for us. So it's like, why don't we want that for us?
Yes, I think it's good to come back to us all the time and say, okay, I am, a cheerleader for people. I support them. I care for them. What about me? Because if you don't do it, no one is going to do it for you.
Oh, amen to that. Nobody's going to be like, remember, Gail, you didn't get your sleep. Like, right? Like,
Exactly.
you have to do that, right?
Exactly. And I think it's coming back to this self-care, self-love, and self-respect. Respect to yourself enough to look after yourself and really to set boundaries when you know that is not something to cross with you.
Yes. Love that. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Gail. I love you because you understand me. So thank you.
So, no, I love what you said, because I think it's such a reminder that why you need to go to the worst things ever before to wake up and do something about it. Okay.
It's true.
Let's be preventative. Let's prevent it, and really embrace self-care and do something about it. Yeah.
Amen. Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so I have another question for you, and this one is slightly different. But from your opinion, how can women leaders nurture themselves so they can really show up as their best self?
I love this question. Thank you for asking it. I think that there's really the 3-prong approach. There's the internal, there's the external, and then there's community. So the first two are self, and the last one is really who you surround yourself with, is group. And so if you just take a look at internal, so internal can be anything from what you are consuming on a day-to-day basis with respect to what's on your news feed. Like when you open your social feeds, like what is the first, is it positive? Is it uplifting? Is it helpful? Like, what are your actual inputs in terms of what's going into your brain? What are the podcasts that you love? Who are the sort of influencers or thought leaders or people or authors that you're reading? Like, what that mental side is very, very important, right? And all those other things around it. Are you getting enough sleep? My gosh, sleep has massive impact on our cognitive ability to solve problems, resilience, all of those things, right? And so there's the internal side in terms of the mental and how we grapple with all of that, what we're doing in terms of that. Then there's, of course, the external inputs, which is also self. So things that are just really excellent habits that you're making a point of doing for yourself every single day. So people who know me know I drink my greens every day. It's a non-negotiable because I know how I feel when I don't drink them. Right. So I'm looking after my digestion. I'm looking after my skin. I'm looking at doing all these things, right? The food that we eat, the exercise, how are we moving our bodies, right? Like I think exercise, especially for women, sometimes we're shamed into like, oh, I have to go and do the hardest possible workout ever on the face of planet Earth. No, like what is working for your body right now? If taking a walk is working for you right now, walk yourself, girl. Like, right. Yeah. If it's meditating that day or yoga, please do that. If it's stretching, by all means. Right. And so I think we have to just personalize and customize what actually makes sense for us in the moment or in the season of our life that we need. Especially, I talk to a lot of event professionals, right? And sometimes we go through event seasons where there's high stress. Like, do you really want to go and pound the pavement when you're super stressed? Some people will say yes, but other people, that's actually counterproductive for them. That's just like you're blowing your cortisol out. You don't need more stress on your system, your body, your joints, all the things. Like maybe take a swim, like do something that actually serves you individually in that moment. So I think in terms of our inputs, there's not really a one size fits all. It's really customizable to like what makes sense for you. Then the community component. So the internal, external community. Who are you surrounding yourself with? And Gail, that's why I'm so grateful for you in my life, because I really believe you are the sum of the people that you spend the most time with, really and truly, right? Do they lift you up or are they dragging you down? Do they inspire you to be better, or are they like a thorn in your side? Like, what is it, and really maximizing the time that we have with the folks that help us elevate and minimizing the time that with the folks that really just make us feel terrible after we've had an interaction with them. So I think cultivating our energy, our well-being, it really takes that 3-prong approach. There's no way of doing it otherwise.
I really love what you said, because I completely agree with that. And it's true that community, for me, makes such a big difference when you feel you belong. You belong, you feel understood, you feel supported. We met together this way through a community. She did it last year, and it feels I think it's so uplifting, and also it's inspiring. I think sometimes I think this little boost of energy that you need to have, in addition to all the work you're doing for yourself internally and externally. And I love what you said when you say it's really a question to find what makes sense for you, personalize it, customize it. It's not one size fits all, but it's a question, do the work. Really sit down and try different things. Give yourself permission to try and see what is working for you or not. And I think sometimes we have I believe and I feel this kind of shame around you have to move, you have to do a workout, and it's not the right way. It's a question of self-care, but also self-respect for your body, for your mind, for your soul. And I think when you reframe it this way, you're more in tune with yourself. You're more open to say, okay, I'm going to do something for me at my pace, and I'm going to do something that makes me feel good. I think it's really this feeling of goodness we want to feel every day.
Agreed. And when you have the momentum of feeling good, why would you ever want to feel bad? It's kind of like feeling good is so much better. There's that great saying, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. And so this is just a food example, but nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. So sometimes opting out of something, whether that's, I don't know, having a drink, whether that's having refined sugar, because how it drags you down, not for everybody, but certainly I know there's definitely certain foods for me where if I have that, the pain of having it that I feel later or days later or whatever, because I had it, is worse than saying no, thank you in that moment. Right. I just like feeling good too much. And so we can apply that lens though, to everything that we're doing when it comes to internal, external inputs, community, et cetera. What does that look like for all the folks around us? So yeah, I love that, Gail. Thank you for articulating.
No, thank you. I love what you said. So I have one final question for you. And I think it's quite interesting because it's a way for women leaders basically to show up as themselves. So if you have to create a law or a new standard for women leaders, to show up as their best self, with energy and with so much potential, what would it be?
I think definitely that the way to cultivate our best energy has to be through, first and foremost, intentionality. What's your intention? Like, why do you want to have the best energy? Mm-hmm. What are you bringing to the table? What are your goals? Like, there's that great saying, if you know your why, you can withstand and go through anyhow. You can literally go through anything if your purpose is big enough. And I think we have to keep our vision in mind. Like, I squeal with excitement out of bed every single day. My poor husband, bless his tolerant soul, but I'm this loud person. Like, first thing I'm like, let's get excited about life, and it's so funny because he's very subdued. I'm like, get excited about your life, Nicola, and he's like, I'm excited. Can't you see I'm excited? But like, he's
more, my husband is the same.
So funny. But I mean, excitement looks different for different people, right? Yeah. So it's totally okay. But because my vision is so huge, like, I know who I'm helping. I know what I'm going for. I know the impact that I make when I'm at my best energetic self. Also, on the other side, I know the impact I don't make when I shrink back, when I withhold my power, when I feel I'm vibrating at an energetic level that is not serving me, my purpose, or anybody around me. I mean, we've all had those moments, right? Where we're complaining, we're annoyed, we're tired. Yeah. Look, we're all humans. But I think if we bring the lens of intentionality around it, like, oh, that's interesting. What's going on here? Why do I feel like this? Why did I react like that?
Yeah.
So it's not about perfection. It's about progress. And it's like, how do we make the progress? We have to get some intentionality around our energy, around what it is we're trying to do here. And I think once we can get that organized and sorted, and again, it's going to look different for different people.
Yes.
When we get that sorted out, we can truly step into our power, and gosh, the game changes. Like when our energy changes, the game changes, and it's so powerful.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. When you really step up into your leadership, your energy shift, your frequency vibrate even higher, people pay attention more to you. And I love intentionality. For me, from the moment you bring intention in your day, as much as you can, it changed everything from being complicated and difficult to being much more easy and working in flow. So no, I really wanted to thank you so much for your presence today, Julie, or Jule. I like Jule.
Yes, you can call me whatever you want. I love you so much. Thank you, Gail. I'm so glad we got to have a conversation, because I mean, really and truly, I know you and I could talk about this all day. It's really like, and I know your audience very much so cares about being visible. And it's like, when we're visible, what energy do we want to have when we're the most visible, when people are looking, when people are paying attention, when people are like, what is she saying? Did she just say that? What's the energy? Like, what does that look like? Is that like off, mute, or is it like, oh, I gotta watch more. I have to tune in and keep watching, what's the energy? Right. And so I think energy and visibility, they intersect tremendously.
Yes, absolutely. Because when you show up on camera, on video, on stage, people connect with your energy first and foremost. So if you're able basically to, I think, lead and really manage your energy in a way that you can shine when you want to shine, that you can basically maintain your energy, I think it's really a question of commanding your energy the way you want to. People pay attention. And that's why I love so much what you do, because I believe we can really all the time nurture our energy, amplify it. So you can use it at the moment we want to, and we have so much in reserve. So now thank you so much for what you do. I need to dive a little bit more about the vegan world. Because it's good for me, I believe.
Oh, yes. The vegan world, plant-powered, plant-based living. I mean, that's a life changer also. So yeah, I totally agree with you. But anyway, thank you so much, Gail, for having me. And I can't wait for more conversations, as always.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, gorgeous. It was my interview with Jules. If you have any question, please put the question in the comments below. If you want to contact us, send us a message or anything you want. We're here to respond to your question. And I will see you next month with another guest. In the meantime, I wish you a fantastic day. Keep rocking, and I'm sending you so much love. Thank you, Jules, again. Ciao.